I have to say this, Robert Pattinson. I've been a huge fan of you since the Harry Potter days.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Is there any piece of advice that you received from the other actors who previously portrayed Batman?
I only got told by Christian Bale to figure out how to easily go to the bathroom in the costume.
Did you figure it out?
I actually didn't.
Were you both fans of the Batman series before getting into the movie?
Yeah, but I'm a much bigger fan now.
I've been a fan of Batman since I was a kid.
It's a total dream.
With that prosthetic makeup, how long did it take you to get ready?
4 hours.
I think I know the answer, but I just want to know from you, which character would you play from the universe?
I want to know what you think the answer is first.
I think Batman.
I don't think I'm cool enough to be Batman, but
I'm imagining you in a cape. I think you look cool.
Come on, Vengeance. Who are you under there? Are you just hideously scarred?
Yeah.
Hello everybody, namaste. I hope that all of you who are watching the show from your homes are happy and healthy. Today is a very special episode because joining me all the way from the USA is the team of the upcoming Hollywood movie, The Batman. So, let's get right into it and meet them. Hi, namaste.
Namaste.
Nice to meet you. First of all, I have to say this, Robert Pattinson. I've been a huge fan of you since the Harry Potter days. It's really cool to get the chance to say it to you personally, so yeah. And of course, the two of you, great work in the movie. I really liked it, so congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
Now, since I want a lot of answers, we have only 4 minutes. Can we do like a quick question, quick answer thing, like a rapid fire?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the first question is for Rob. Is there any piece of advice that you received from the other actors who previously portrayed Batman, and could you share it with us?
I only got told by Christian Bale to figure out how to easily go to the bathroom in the costume, and I think he seems to have told that to every single person.
Really right.
Did you figure it out though? Did you figure it out?
I actually didn't.
That would have been hard. Oh my god. Okay, next, Zoe. I feel your expressions and especially your walk in the movie is really powerful and really sexy.
Thank you.
When you were designing that, you're welcome. When you were designing that for yourself, was there a particular actor or character that you sort of studied to devise that for yourself? Or was it you?
I was really kind of the idea of cats and felines and the way that they move and the focus that they have in their eyes. They keep their heads very, very still, and a lot of their movements is in their shoulders and in their waist, and so that was kind of where the inspiration of that came from.
You did really well, by the way. I couldn't take my eyes off in that scene when you walk into the club. It was really, really powerful.
Oh, thank you so
really
much.
Powerful.
That's a good walk.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Rob. With your half face kind of covered, it can be really hard to sort of emote the many, many layers of emotions that Batman is facing. Did you find a technique to sort of counter that? And if you have, could you share it?
I don't know what really the technique was, but you do feel that there's something, you're trying to kind of push through like a kind of quite thick layer of leather.
Yeah, is it like a hindrance? Does it stop you?
In some ways the costume kind of really helps, in just because you can, in some scenes you can just stand there and it's doing all the work for you.
The job.
And then other times like you really can't rely on it at all, and it kind of you need to really, really push through. And it's really just kind of a trial and error thing with Matt Reeves, the director, where sometimes you go way too much, and you can't really feel the light on your face that much, which normally when you're acting you get more of a sense of it, and so I was really reliant on Matt a lot of the time. That's the secret.
The director. Okay, Zoe, there has been so much buzz since it's been announced that you'll be Catwoman since 2 years ago. And you've been saying repeatedly, I've been working hard on the prep. What is the hardest part of the prep of getting into the skin of Catwoman? One hardest part.
I mean, of course, there's the physicality of it. It's it's a really physically demanding role. And I think the other part of it is really kind of forgetting that you're playing Catwoman, because I think, there's a lot of pressure and preconceived ideas about what she is supposed to be like, and I think that really gets in the way of playing a human being. So it's really about forgetting what you thought you knew about Catwoman, what the world knows about Catwoman, and really focusing on Selina as a human being and trying to make that feel real.
When that light hits the sky, it's a warning to them.
This guy's crazy.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so of course I've watched the movie and it's a masterpiece. First of all, I have to
thank you.
say you're a great storyteller. And
Oh,
I
wow,
really
thank
wanted
you
to
so
say
much.
that.
Thank
Of
you.
course, you're welcome. Now I wanted to ask you that, of course, you're the director of the movie, but if you separate yourself from that, when you were growing up, were you a fan of Batman as a character?
Oh,
Like,
I sure
were you a
was.
fanboy?
The thing is I was born in 1966, and that is the year that Adam West began playing Batman, and
Yes.
my childhood was just covered in Batman stuff. I had dolls and comics and toys, and I love Batman. So yeah, I have been a huge fan of Batman since I was a kid. I mean, there are even little Easter eggs and little things to, the Adam West Batman. We have the Shakespeare bust that was the way that you got into the Batcave, and all that kind of stuff are embedded. So for sure, I've been a fan of Batman since I was a kid. I mean, and I don't think that's unusual for so many people, because the character's been around for over 80 years, and there's something about that myth of that character that really endures. It's still, and it's always relevant, so that's what I find so exciting. And of course, I'm a fan of all the movies that were made too. So I've been a huge Batman fan for my entire life.
Isn't that like the coolest thing ever? I mean, how many fans actually get to direct a movie? That's
It's a crazy dream. Yeah, it's one of these things where, when I was finishing The Apes, one of the last Apes movie that I was doing, when they contacted me, and I didn't know they were calling about Batman, and I kept saying, I'm too busy, I'll meet with you after I'm done with the movie, and they said, this isn't actually about just a general meeting, this is about Batman. And I was like, oh, I'll find time to meet you.
I'll find time. I'm coming.
Yes, and so we got together, and it's an interesting thing. It's a kind of double-edged sword because the character's so beloved, because he's so enduring, and because there have been great movies. It's this thing where, on the one hand, you want to seize the opportunity. On the other hand, it's terrifying because you think, well, wait a minute. You've really got to do something here that's ambitious and distinctive.
You don't want to
because
go
people
wrong.
love this character. Yeah, you can't. You're really dealing with a character that people have a lot of connection to, and so I just felt like, okay, this is a high wire act, but it was one I couldn't resist. It was one that once they said that I could do it the way I wanted to do it, I was like, okay, well now I'm really scared because it means I have to do it, and so that's what we did.
That is a lot of pressure. I can understand because the fandom's so excited and they're
It
very
is, yes.
involved and they're emotionally involved. So I mean, if you go wrong, they're very vocal about saying that we don't like this.
Because
and that
Batman
went
doesn't
wrong.
belong to me; he belongs to everyone, right?
To everybody.
So he's just briefly, I'm custodian for him for this film, for this moment, and so I'm giving what I think is the iteration that I hope people will be excited about. But everybody already has a version that they hold near and dear to their heart. So it's going to be really interesting to see how people respond.
I can literally feel the passion when you talk about this project. I can really say you're so invested.
Oh, cool.
Now,
Yeah,
before
thank
we
you.
wrap up, I was very curious about this. I'm going to ask you, if you were an actor and you could play a character, I mean, I think I know the answer, but I just want to know from you, which character would you play from the universe?
Wait a minute, I want to know what you think the answer is first.
I think Batman. You've been
Okay.
raving about it, so I mean, I'm
Well,
just guessing.
no, I mean, who wouldn't want to be Batman, right? No, I guess
Yeah.
the thing is that I don't think I'm cool enough to be Batman, but
I'm
really wanna
imagining
be
you in a
Batman.
cape. I think you look cool.
Well, I don't. But now I look kind of like Gordon with the mustache, but yeah, I don't know. I would say, of course, I'd want to. I mean, look, here's the great thing about writing and making a movie like this, is that in writing, you get to be everyone. That's sort of the fun. So I got to be.
You
know,
live all the characters.
Yeah,
while
you have to.
making.
You have to some degree get inside of the head of all of these characters. So I feel very close to all of them. You know, even the Riddler, I have an affinity for. I have a connection to because I feel like, what he went through is kind of tragic. And you go, okay, well, there's
Traumatic,
a distortion here, but I understand him and I have empathy for him. You have to have empathy for all of them. But of course, if you could be anyone, I suppose you'd want to be Batman.
So I was kind of right, but yeah, I
were
love
kinda
what you
right.
said.
Yes.
Yeah, I love what you said that you get to live all of the characters. It
I
was really
fortunate.
nice
I got to
talking
be
to
all
you.
of them.
Yes, lucky you. It was really nice talking to you, Matt. All the very best for the movie, and I'm looking forward to many more movies from you in the future. Good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Hey, Vengeance! You think you can come after me?
All it takes is fear and a little focused violence.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Nice to meet you both. Okay, my first question is for Colin. First of all, tell us how long did it take you to get ready with that prosthetic makeup and that bodysuit?
4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours 4 hours initially. well, the first time I ever tried it on, the whole thing, the suit and the makeup, the first time was a camera test here in Los Angeles, and it took that day was about 6 or 7 hours all in. But then when we started the film, 4 hours, and then bit by bit they shaved a couple of minutes off every day, and by the time we finished the shoot, they were down to, I think the personal best was 1 hour and 56, I think. Which was fine,
like
considering.
crazy. That's great progress.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Actually, it was amazing, and considering what it was, I never even minded the 4 hours. I mean, to see the result, you know, how extraordinary it was. I had the odd little nap. Yeah, my head had, yeah.
But I was very curious, you know, does all of that, because you have to take care of the makeup, you can't spoil it. Is it like a problem while acting?
No, it was incredibly.
No,
it was incredibly durable, and look, it was pretty warm in that padded bodysuit, and some of the sound stages we shot on the studio stuff it got fairly warm, and I didn't perspire. I perspired a little bit, but not so much that any of the pieces came loose, or it was extraordinary. I kind of forgot that I was wearing it after a while. I got so used to it, you know. I mean, I never got unexcited by it. I never got used to it in that I was excited by it every time it got put on. I really was. It was so much fun, but I got used to the feeling of it to the point where it didn't feel like I was wearing anything at all.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
cool.
actually surprising.
Yeah.
Okay, now, John, I have to say, your character was pure evil, okay? I loved it, but I mean, I'm sure you're not like that in real life. How do you get into the skin of a character who is poles apart from you? How do you relate to it? How do you play such a character?
You know, the terrible thing about life is everyone has their reasons, right? So I think that's a famous line from a great old film by. But I think I thought of it really. I'm talking to Matt Reeves, the director, that's sort of the man behind the curtain. You know, the man who controls everything, who doesn't want to be seen, but wants to tell everybody what to do, who takes from everyone, you know, and then once in a while appears as this generous benefactor, you know, who's a person who, you know, is a predator in the sense that can, you know, finds everyone's weakness. And at the moment when they're vulnerable and they need him, he slips right into that. And there are lots of people like that who are from the underworld, and there are a lot of people like that who run countries, you know, who are politicians. So, you know, you kind of take it and you put it together. And I looked at the original, not the original comic, the Frank Miller comics, and those were sort of instrumental. And I could see what his influences were too. So it's not just you, like Colin was saying, like the makeup can do a lot, but it's also the other people's reactions to you, which does a lot of the job for you. You know what I mean? They're selling that. And so it's a team effort. And what the effect of is sometimes it's someone else helping create that effect. So.
But I honestly feel the way both of you played your characters made me so curious to know more about them, especially the Penguin. I honestly felt there was another side of him. He looked like a victim of circumstance, and I got so curious about both, even Falcone. So, great job. I just have to say that. I can't say that enough. But I just want to wish you both all the very best, and I hope the audience falls in love with your performance.
Thank you so much. Thanks a million for your generosity.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Take care. All the best.
All right.
Maybe this is all coming to an end. What is? I think I'm his last target. I've been trying to reach you. Riddler's asking for you.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi. Namaste.
Namaste.
How are you both?
Yeah, good.
All right.
I'm very well. First of all, I have to ask you the classic questions. Were you both fans of the Batman series before getting into the movie?
Yeah, but I'm a much bigger fan now. It was so fun to do a deep dive on those comics. Jeffrey and I were just talking off camera about the animated show from the early 90s, which is incredible. There's been some incredible films, and Batman, Gotham, it's part of our culture, and it's, big fan.
I mean, if you were a big fan of Batman, as a fan, was it kind of like conflicting to play the bad guy who's fighting Batman? Was that like a conflict of interest for you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean...
Not at all?
No, because, I mean... I get to be a part of the fun, I mean, it's a total dream, honestly.
And there is no Batman without
That's right.
without the Rogues Gallery.
You know, you just said there's no Batman without him. I actually thought you, Jeffrey, your character, and Batman are such a team. I felt like in certain situations, Batman wouldn't even survive the film without you. Did you feel the same way, that he wouldn't stand a chance without you?
Well, it's a pretty desperate setting that they find themselves in. I think they reach out to one another because they feel themselves... Actually, it's more from Gordon's perspective. I think Gordon feels himself drowning, and he reaches out to Batman to help him, make sense of this corrupted Gotham. And Batman sees someone that he can trust. I think he's reluctant to some extent, but he recognizes that there's a common purpose for the both of them, which is, we're not quite certain how to define that, but they understand that they're working toward, they're working against the same things, and so they come together. And we're early in the days of their relationship where the trust is still building, but it's a partnership that I don't think we've quite explored before as deeply in other films as we do in this one. So it was exciting for me.
But you did save him multiple times, especially the police station scene. That is completely you. Coming to you, Paul, I felt like your character has so many shades to it, especially the past. It was kind of traumatic for him. And a lot of people say you can't really judge a character and then play it. So did you sympathize with your character? Did you feel like he deserved a better childhood?
Sure, of course, yeah, really. Part of my job is to do that, but Matt and I, in our first conversation, spoke about the two sides of trauma, and Batman himself is born of a trauma, right? And so is the Riddler.
True. But you both did a great job, really, in terms of the approach towards the craft. I couldn't see the actors, I just saw the characters. Just shows how talented you both are. So all the very best for this film. And I hope it touches millions of hearts, and I hope to see you entertaining us for many, many years to come.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
And that brings us to the end of the Batman special episode. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know down in the comments below who you want me to invite next as my guest on eNow. Till then, take very, very good care of yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon in the next episode. Hello, hi. Are we ready? Nice to meet you both. Namaste.
Namaste. Nice to meet you.
Okay, Sakshma, hold on. Let me get my team to roll, and then you can state your name and outlet. Keep an eye on your Zoom chat.
So I didn't waste any time. Super.
Straight in. Love that.